We're going to do a behind-the-scenes look today at Sanford Stadium. This is after Georgia's 19-13 victory over Texas A&M. This is Dean Legge for Dog Post. All right, here we go, Matt. This is the facility where we meet with Georgia's head coach Kirby Smart, and today it was one of those days, man. They really had a hard time closing this game out. Right here is where all the teams come in and pack up their stuff. This is where A&M is going to go ahead and leave. And Matt, Georgia got to close these games out. They're not closing the games out, and that's a problem. And every game they've played, it feels like it's the same game. You know, you talk about the Florida game, the Auburn game, the Carolina game, the Notre Dame game. I mean, not so much Kentucky and Mizzou, but there's a lot of like, what is taking so long to close this out? I thought Kirby was right tonight when he said, hey, you know, this game, I guess I should stand up. This game could have been ended, well, he didn't say this, but this is the way I took it. This game could have been ended in the second quarter. I mean, even the first quarter. If you go up 14-0, like Georgia probably should have, it'd have been tough for A&M. And that's the thing, man. Now, against Tech, maybe not. But your whole life is on the line from here on out. Here we are going in the second level. This is the club level at Georgia. We're going to walk through the press box and just kind of keep this thing going. Poor Matt. Dude, listen. DeAndre, 112 yards. You don't have to be that close to me. Okay. 112 yards for DeAndre. Brian Herrion, another workman. Well, you know what? DeAndre lost a couple yards. So 103 for DeAndre, 30 yards for Brian. You know, the Dogs don't quite end up with 100 yards because of the sacks for Jake. I think he probably got sacked once or twice. But, you know, Jake's got to play. He got sacked twice. Jake's got to play a little bit better. So do the receivers. 11 for 23. It's not going to work. That is not going to work. This is McGill Society is to your right over here as we keep rolling through Sanford Stadium. But, dude, listen, and Matt can back me up. We'll talk about this on riding home. The reality is this team can still win the national championship. Is that crazy? Because it's not crazy to Matt. It feels pretty crazy to me after this game. Only because go ahead and get the pen. I'll talk and you walk. When you start talking about putting teams away, this is a game where you've got to put teams away. And they really had a shot to do that. Certainly in the first quarter. I think if you go up 10-0, you're in really, really good shape. But this team they're not comfortable with putting teams away. They're just not. Now, how long? You know, I don't think you can ever put LSU away. They're just there. And you better be ready to score some points. A&M's defense may or may not be better than LSU's, but Georgia's going to have to score more than 19 points to beat LSU. All right, I have to be a little bit quiet here because we're going into the Dan McGill press box here at the University of Georgia. People are going to be working. Got to close games out. I know I've said that like 3 times, but if you I mean, I don't know how many times we've seen Georgia play a close game that didn't necessarily have to be close. And this is a situation here where, again, they will murder Georgia Tech. But now, from here on out, everybody you play is going to score on points. Whether you're talking about Clemson, Ohio State, LSU, you know, Alabama even, everybody. I mean, it's just, it's you better score. And they're struggling right now. Really having a hard time figuring out how to put the ball in the end zone. Rodrigo Blankenship is awesome. All-time scorer now at Georgia. But it's just not, I mean, you got to score points. And, you know, tonight, when you talk to guys like Jake Fromm after the game, by the way, this is all the TV stuff. I mean, this is quite a production from CBS, literally a production from CBS. When you know, Rodrigo is basically money in the bank, but you just can't depend on him. Like, you got to convert 1 or 2 of those into touchdowns. And that just didn't happen tonight. I don't know where they go from here. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not one of these guys. I'm really typically, is the lighting okay?
Yeah.
I am typically pretty optimistic. I'm not pessimistic. They're going to do some very bad things to Georgia Tech next week. But Georgia Tech is not a good football team. Georgia Tech is a team on your schedule that's just there. I mean, that stadium will be half Georgia people. It's just not a great indicator of if you're a good football team. But for the, Georgia has an opportunity here to win their 14th SEC championship and take out LSU, a team that will probably play in the playoff anyway. You would separate yourself from Tennessee by a championship. You would play in the college football playoff, possibly in Atlanta. You never know what will happen. But these guys got to play better on offense. It's not good enough to go for 260 yards. It's not, and they're winning. They are, and I'm not taking it away from them. They'll finish this season 11-1. That is a huge accomplishment in college football. I mean, a lot of teams are not going to do that. I don't know if Oklahoma will. They might. You look at Texas flopping around. Texas is back. Yeah, I bet you're back to 6-5 is what you are. Okay. This team has got to take advantage of its opportunity. These seniors, guys like J.R. Reed, there's not a lot of seniors on this team. Rodrigo is definitely one of them. Brian Herrion. They don't have to change anything they're doing in practice. They don't have to do, what they're doing is basically working. But when they get to games and you have an opportunity on a flea flicker to score a touchdown, it has to be a touchdown. When you have the opportunity to, get a guy down the sideline, it felt like on one of those passes, you got to hit him. And it's, it is not just Jake. It's everybody. I thought Wolf could have caught that one ball and he didn't. I don't know. I'm not down on them. I'm just saying they got to prove it now. They got to go do it. Their task in front of them is a very serious one. Beating LSU, no one may do that this season, but Georgia has a chance because of their defense. Their offense is going to have to help them out. They got to close games out. If you have a lead against LSU in the fourth quarter, it needs to hold. I hope you enjoyed our quick whip around Sanford Stadium. I know it was a little bit bumpy. Apologize for that. How about hit this next button up here, checking out our coverage from the A&M game. How about subscribe there? If you don't follow us, please do. Dean Legge wrapping up for Dog Post here in Sanford Stadium.